Welcome back into the Enrichment Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine, Aqua Patio Pontoons, Apex Pontoons, Bullet Bass Boats, G3 Aluminum Boats, Suncatcher Pontoons, Hurricane Deck Boats, Portacraft Aluminum Boats, Skeeter Bass Boats. Running out of time to get it all in, you get the picture. There's no better place to buy a boat. That's because there's no place with more boats for sale than Madisonville Marine. It's incredible. Their customer service is great. The price is great. I could have gone on with that list for another segment and a half. Madisonville Marine has an incredible selection. Get down there, check them out, or go to madmarine.com. All right, I want to welcome in the next wave of panelists here on the Sports Source. We'll start over here. We got Chuck Cavaleris, longtime Knoxville media mogul. We have here Vince Ferrara, who does work, of course, with WNML 990. Vince, thanks.
Great to be here, John.
We have our former Vol quarterbacks. Going to lean on you in this segment here. We got Bobby Scott, thank you.
Always great.
Sterling Hinton, thank you.
Glad to be here, John.
And Sterling, for folks who want more upbeat Sterling in their life, tonight on Bravo, you are in the season finale of the show I Dream of Nene, correct?
That's it.
You're DJing this person's wedding.
Yeah.
Chuck Smith is in this one.
Chuck Smith is in there also.
All right, so watch him go national on a reality show tonight. All right, guys, normally we talk about positives, negatives in this segment. I want to focus just on the quarterback right now, and this is for everybody. I want all your take just kind of quickly. Net positive or net negative from what you saw of Josh Dobbs yesterday?
Well, I think it has to be a net positive because people have been wondering what you have there. And then, 5 of 12 passing, had 2 drops, was able to make some plays with his feet. And then what I liked on the sidelines, you could see the teammates were behind him, were into it, were wishing him well. I think you got something there, some chemistry that you just can't turn your back on.
Yes.
Yeah, poise, arm talent. We saw that at practice earlier in preseason camp. You didn't see the arm strength. He was thinking too much. He's figured out. He's better prepared to play. I thought he showed great poise and handled himself pretty well, except for a couple times they couldn't get the play off, and they had to call timeout. But overall, very, very positive.
Yeah, I thought they've hit on the 2 things that stood out to me. One, he's got a pretty good arm. He whistled it into a couple of plays. He was also decisive. Mm-hmm. I mean, whether that's having confidence in his arm or just knowing how to make a read and get the ball out of there, he did have command, I thought.
I think at this point in time, he's a very smart kid.
Yeah. Aerospace engineering, yeah.
Well, and I think that because of that, he has a great grasp of the system, what they're trying to do, and everything. And I think that's the reason he looked poised and confident out there.
Sterling?
I mean, true freshman. I mean, last year this time he's playing high school football. Now he's in the SEC, playing against the #1 team in the country. The speed of the game is incredibly faster. And, I thought he did very well getting in and doing what he did yesterday and did what was asked of him and did the best he could at this time.
Do you guys, when I say net positive, net negative, I should have thrown out there, the negative being you had to burn the red shirt. Is that a big problem for anybody else, that they had to burn a red shirt?
I don't understand why you're really trying to hold him back anyway with 4 years. I mean, if I'm a coach, I'm looking for who gives us the best chance to win. And if I feel like that kid gives us the best chance to win, he's going to play.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people worrying about red shirts in this day and age.
We're not in a position to worry about red shirts.
Let me put up some stats. I'm going to ask you guys something.
Right.
We have a quarterback comparison. Here are the numbers yesterday. Worley was 8 of 15, 120 yards, no TDs, 2 interceptions, though one of them was clearly due to that thumb. His passer rating was horrific. Mm-hmm. Dobbs, as Vince pointed out, had a couple of drops that was nothing extraordinary, but I thought you did see promise. Let me ask you guys, Bobby, you were a long-time backup in the NFL to Archie Manning. I know he was your good friend, but at the same time, you wanted his job. Mm-hmm. Sterling, you were undefeated as a starter. Lost. I know this still eats at you. Yeah. You've hidden it well for years, but lost your job after you'd been undefeated. Lost your job at Alabama. That's the reason you hate them. In what, 1989? 89. And you had to be a backup from that point on, and you did it well. And you and Andy Kelly have always been buddies.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you put the team first. But both of you guys have seen the starter backup switch from different angles. Is it fair at this point to Justin Worley, who's gotten you this far, to start talking about got to make a change? Is it fair to say, let's give the kid some mix, let him get some series? What's your take on the switch?
In my opinion, you're out there to try to win, and if Coach Jones thinks that Dobbs gives us the best chance to win, then I say throw him in there and let him go. But it's hard to do because you've got a guy there that you know, you've been trying to be loyal to and everything, but you get to a point where you got to say, we're going forward. Is this guy going to take us forward, or is this guy take us forward? And they've got to make a decision on that. And if their decision is Dobbs, I don't think it's a bad decision.
Sterling?
Well, it's a luxury to have a guy like Dobbs on your team. You know, this guy has a major I can't even spell. You know, so he has the mental capacity to actually understand the offense, and he has the skill to perform in it. My thing is, though, with a healthy Worley, I think he gives you the best chance to win. I mean, you got a guy here, everybody all season has been trying to find a reason to sit him down. I love Dobbs' potential. The Ferguson's even a great quarterback. But I think right now, the way our team is, we need that guy, that position solidified. And, you know, a healthy Worley give us a better chance to win. That doesn't mean that Dobbs doesn't play if he's earned the right to play.
But you don't
every game.
have a healthy Worley. You got a bruised hand and a hurt thumb.
Well, let me turn this.
But you don't know that.
Well, let me turn this
I
to you
do
guys.
know that.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, Trainer Chuck.
Trainer Chuck. Let me ask you this.
If he hits 2 helmets the way he did, he's got a sore thumb.
Let me ask you this. All right, but let's say he's fine by next Saturday. Let's say Worley's fine by next Saturday. Very quickly, would you feel better with Worley at quarterback, with Dobbs at quarterback, with them rotating, or is it too early for me to ask that question? Is that unfair to Worley for me to ask that question at this point?
I think it's unfair because it's going to happen anyway, whether we ask it or whether the fans are going to want it. We're going to get it on Sports Talk Radio all week long. And I would start Worley. I would play Dobbs some, but just because he played well under the circumstances last week doesn't mean that he can handle a full game. To me, it looked like they had a smaller package for him to get through that situation, and that doesn't mean you can go through a full game when teams get a beat on that you're limited. So I would mix in Dobbs a little bit, but still start Worley. We can't flush out what he
I've
did
been
before.
saying that since the Florida game. So
and
I'm cool
if
with
we
that.
learned anything about Butch Jones, he's going to judge a lot of this by how practice goes. And if Worley is able in practice to do the job, he should be your starter.
Well, and you have to worry. I mean, you have to worry. You have to wonder if Ferguson had not had an undisclosed leg injury, would Ferguson have been the first one in yesterday? Because those two have been running pretty much neck and neck from what they say all fall. We will talk next about the grades. We're going to look at Tennessee's run offense, run defense. I think we're going to have to grade on the curve this week a little bit against due to who they were playing. We're still going to talk about Missouri, who lost last night. We've got much more to come up in this show. We'll see you in the next segment on the Enrichment Sports Horse.